Right now at 4:30, the Torrance man accused of trying to assassinate President Trump made his first court appearance today. Tomas Allen is facing 3 charges related to trying to storm the White House Correspondents Dinner armed with weapons to kill.
And we've been reaching out to local schools he attended, trying to understand what, if anything, stood out before this attack.
And so far what's emerging is a picture that might be surprising. NBC4's Mekahlo Medina is live at Cal State Dominguez Hills, where Allen earned his master's degree. Mac.
Now, Carolyn and Michael, the university confirming that within the last hour and a half or so, graduated this past May last year with that master's degree in computer science. Beyond that, though, they're not talking much about his time here as a student. They do say they strongly condemn any violence in any form. Now, one of his professors is talking, and when we talk to students here, they say they were shocked to hear the news.
It surprised me a lot, I will say that.
Students reacting to the email they got over the weekend from the university, alerting them that the White House Correspondents Dinner shooter might have attended Cal State Dominguez Hills.
They did say an alumni or a graduate. They didn't say that he was currently coming here. So I think that's why I didn't know him.
Computer science professor Dr. Bean Tang told NBC4 News off camera that Allen was, quote, a very good student, always sitting in the front row, paying attention, soft-spoken, very polite. He says he was very shocked to see the news.
Call Tomas Allen.
Video from the school's commencement program shows Allen graduating with a master's degree in computer science in 2025 after earning a bachelor's degree from Caltech. A pastor at United Reformed Church in Pasadena that Allen attended while he was at Caltech says off camera that Allen was a faithful member of the church. He did not express any political views and apparently was an ordinary guy. The pastor says he was surprised by the news and that nothing in the past indicated that he would do anything like this. Before he attended Caltech, he graduated from Pacific Lutheran in Gardena, where administrators only confirmed he attended his senior year and played on a sports team. The school's principal telling NBC4 News off camera that there were no issues that they were aware of and that they're praying for him, his family, and everyone involved. Outside his family home in Torrance, where Allen was living with his parents, we also spoke with the man who says he knew students that Allen tutored.
Both of these students seem incredibly shocked. I think their families are completely in disbelief.
Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus for people we talked to, shocked and in certainly disbelief, many of them trying to reconcile the person they knew with the headlines we're seeing now. We're live at the Cal State University Dominguez Hills. I'm Mekahlo Medina, NBC4 News.
All right, Mac, thank you. As the chaos unfolded in real time at the White House Press Center, Telemundo 52's Dunia Elvir was there. In fact, she spoke to us live on the NBC4 News that night.
Yeah, Dunia, fortunately, you are back home safe now, but we want to talk about what went down for you as a journalist there. How was it to process what you were witnessing, both from your own safety standpoint and as a reporter?
I think in that moment, all of the journalists, you were able to identify the journalists because we all, instead of running, we were picking our phones, trying to document everything. Obviously, it was very chaotic. We couldn't tell exactly what was happening. Those that were on the right side of the ballroom, we heard what happened, but we couldn't identify that those were shots. The people that were on the left side were closer, so they were able to hear the sounds of the bullets because it was more clear. Imagine this place with over 2,000 people. Mm-hmm. It was over 200 tables, 10 guests per table. The tables were really close. It was very loud. Everyone was mingling. It was just the beginning of the whole reception.
Yeah, you know, we only saw segments of that ballroom, but it is enormous based on what you've said here. When did you realize that something was wrong, and what was the initial reaction in the room itself?
I think we realized the ones that were from the half to the right when we saw the Secret Service agent flying over the tables, technically flying. And then you think about it, why are they going over the tables? Because, like I said, they were so close. That would never be allowed in California. We have so many regulations that accessibility was totally a block in those areas. It was only one big hallway in the middle. You see these images that I took with my cell phone. They threw all the trays with the plates to be able to move through the tables and get to the dignitary they had to protect. So that was very impressive too, seeing the agents going exactly to the points that where Newsom was, where Alex Padilla was, where the vice president, the president, all of them were very strategic. And I think in a matter of seconds, they were already with the person that they were assigned to protect.
Yeah, we certainly saw that happen from the podium there as they pulled the vice president and then the president off. Were you ever concerned for your own safety, or did it all happen so quickly that it was kind of under control when you realized what had happened?
I think the chaos blocks you. I didn't feel afraid. I don't want to sound like I'm insensitive to this type of situations, but I was totally focused on I have to record, I have to make sure that I document everything. And I do think the adrenaline kind of keeps you in a different mindset. And afterwards, the next day, I felt the pain from my neck all the way down. That is for sure.
Yeah.
All that adrenaline and that chaos and confusion, it kind of came to you after.
Well, what's interesting, you're in a room full of fellow journalists. Some you know, some you don't. The majority, I can only assume, whip their phones out just like you did for live coverage with their affiliates or their stations and networks. Yeah,
everybody did that. Even I saw a couple of presidents of some organizations actually being the cameramen for their anchors.
Right.
And you see everybody just trying to document the moment. But we all had an issue with the internet because it was like instantly the internet stopped working. We were in the second floor under the building. The access was, I think it was, like I said, that wouldn't be approved in California because it was blocks, electric stairs, and it was a lot of things with the access to that ballroom.
Will you go back for the redo?
This was your first time.
This was my first time. I was so excited. I was telling your producer, I took pictures of my name with the NBC logo, with the invitation, and I was so stoked. I will go back.
Yes.
Yes. But this time I will take mics and light and everything.
Just in case, right?
Just in case.
Well, we know security will be really buttoned up for the next
The security, I think it was good. There was some lack of imagination in some aspects because to make it to the building, the area was closed for a few blocks. They didn't allow us to get off the vehicles near the hotel. And we went through a couple of filters of security, even a metal detector was there in the last layer, and I think that's where he was trying to get, that last layer of security.
Oh, Dunia.
Well, good to have you back.
Yeah.
Safe
Thank
and
you.
sound.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing it all with us, too.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.